Hey, fifth grade, if you are watching this, you have made it to the step of polishing. You have pre-written, you have drafted, you have revised, you have edited, and hopefully somewhere along the way, if you got stuck, you jumped onto that planning sheet and you doodled with your words and you worked it out. And so you are at the end of this writing assignment. You are at the polishing stage. So we're going to go in and we're going to open the document that has the number 5 in front of it. It says Polishing, Publishing, Memoir number 1. We're going to open that up. Then we're going to go back into the assignment once we have that tab open. And we're going to go to document number 4 because that is the document that we just edited. We always want to go to the document that we just worked on and not the very first document, not draft 1 or draft 2, because we made some changes along the way and we want that writing piece to show those changes and that growth. There should be a drastic difference between draft 1 and the version of your memoir that I go in and read on your polishing and publishing document. So we're going to go into the one that you edited because this version has not just been edited. You went in and copied and pasted it from your revision document. So it's been revised and copied and pasted several times. So looks like I'm having a little trouble getting a little scroll happy here. There we go. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start with the title of my edited memoir. Obviously, this is not a complete memoir because I just created it for demonstration purposes. Hopefully, your memoir is much longer than this because you're bringing to life a memory that was significant to you. You're bringing it to life for your readers. You're adding lots of details and dialogue. And so, obviously, that's going to take up more space on the page than these 2 paragraphs. Anyway, we're going to copy. Remember, we do that with using our 2 fingers with our cursor over the selected text. We're going to double tap on our mouse pad. We're going to say we want to copy. Then we're going to go into that document 5, the polishing and publishing. We're going to click at the end of the text, hit enter a couple times, and we're going to paste. And again, we use that same method, the fingers spread apart, clicking on that, and then saying paste. Okay? So now that I have that in here, I do want to point out, I don't want to delete this until I'm absolutely certain that I've done everything I want to do. Okay? Once I do polish this memoir up, then I will want to actually go in and delete these directions because this copy is going to be the copy that I share with the rest of the world. And if I decide I want to add some graphics or change my font, I don't want to mess with getting that confused. But again, I'm not going to do that until I've made all the changes that I need to make. So select all of your text from draft 3 using your mouse, copy and paste it into this document, then polish your memoir. Pay attention to the way it looks on the page. Craft a title. Consider changing the font type or size. Consider adding an image or graphics. Add your name at the bottom of the memoir as the author. So if this, pardon me, excuse me. If this were my memoir, I would probably want to create what we call kind of a byline, and I would say by, and I would put that there, and I would make sure I capitalize my name. So really what you do on this page is up to you. But if you were going to share this with the world, like you were going to post this on a website tomorrow, you would want to do all of your editing and polishing on this document because when you go to post it to a website or if you send it off to a publisher, maybe you want to print it and then mail it. However you're doing this, maybe you're emailing it. You're going to do all of your editing in your actual document, and you're going to get it just the way you want it, and you're going to make it look exactly the way you want it before you actually do that, because you want them to take you seriously, and this is your finished and final product. If it's not finished and final, then you wouldn't be sending it with someone or to someone or wanting to share it with the world. So I can't stress this enough. There should not be any errors in the document that shows up on this page. It should look like professional writing, because you are not just students who write, you are writers who just also happen to be students, okay? And you want to be taken seriously because you have things to say, and you have ideas here and here that need to be shared with the world. And no one's going to take you seriously or view you as that if it looks like a student document. So we want our finished, polished, published document to look professional. And so we can't have squiggles. You can see that this is telling me, hey, Miss H, you got some grammar issues here. Something is not right. This doesn't make sense. That shouldn't be happening in my final draft. So if for some reason that happened, like you get to this draft and you've got a lot of those, get in there and fix them, okay? So that's what polishing is. Let's say I get to this part of my writing, this step, and I go, that title just isn't doing its job. I think I want to do something different. I might jump back to that planning page, or I might just work it out right here and come up with something different, okay? So any of that is fair game during this step of the writing process. The main thing is that you go back in and you make it everything that it should be to be taken seriously as a professional piece of writing, because like I said, you are writers who also happen to be students. All right, guys, hopefully you know what to do. You know where to take your piece. Again, if you're just changing text, just make sure that it enhances your piece of writing and it doesn't take away from it. So I do not recommend changing colors. That doesn't usually enhance it. In fact, it makes it harder to read, and if you post it to a website, then sometimes that causes problems also. But you can play around with the different fonts. You can play around with making your title bigger by increasing your font here. Sometimes we like to add an image. Images were more of a enhancement for our poems. So if you add an image to your memoir, just make sure that it enhances it, it doesn't take away from it, and it doesn't become obnoxious and take up a whole page. So if you want to, like if I were going to add an image to this document, it might be a picture of a bottle rocket. Okay. It should just make your reader curious. And then, of course, after they read the piece, they'll know why that picture was there. So if you decide to add a text feature like that, again, make sure it enhances your final piece. All right, guys, thanks for working so hard for me. Thanks for enduring these lengthy videos. I hope your writing is everything that you hoped it would be, and I cannot wait to read it. Love you guys. Bye.